Who is it?
Darwan Singh Tour for your driving lesson, please.
What happened?
You're moving.
That's good.
It's about time you started driving.
I used to have a husband who drove.
Oh,
Ted, where do they find these skanks?
they just like them young. You can mold them however they like, teach them tricks.
Hello, Sir Ben. How are you? It's a pleasure to have you on with us.
Great, thank you. Good to talk to you.
I think this movie could have been called Learning to Live just as easily as Learning to Drive. It's got a great character study of human behavior in it.
Absolutely, yeah. I think that when you get people who are very good at a particular job, very good at what they do, they're very often much bigger than the job itself. My character, in fact, was a university professor in India, and it's impossible to spend time with this man, with my character, and not learn something. He just has a way of, I don't know, enhancing life, imparting knowledge, allowing you to be in the moment and see the world around you as it really is. So a beautiful character to play.
Well, it seems you might have learned something from the character yourself, right?
Well, I did learn something from the Sikh gentleman that I worked with in New York. And we had an advisor on the set. We were allowed to film in the temple, but also they're just wonderful people to be with. They're reassuring, they're kind, they're generous, and they're basically very protective. You feel safe with them.
It seems you had such a great time working on the set with such wonderful women in film. I believe you said before you're outnumbered.
Fortunately, yes, because the producers, guys, of course, but Dana Friedman as well, our director, Isabelle Courgette, an amazing woman who operates the camera herself, and you feel as an actor that everything you offer the lens will be in the movie. She never wastes energy on set. She gathers and collects and treasures everything you offer her. She's a wonderful woman to work with. And then, of course, my great leading lady, Patricia. It was a wonderful experience.
You've had so many great roles and have been on so many great sets, but what do you think you'll always remember about working on this one?
I think that what I will take with me is the way that Isabelle, our director, put so much into 25 working days. That's all it took to make this film. And she was always thinking ahead, planning the next shot, looking ahead to the next 4 or 5 setups, and yet at the same time remaining completely present. She's a great person to be with, and you learn a lot from being with her. So, and I think that her loving wisdom and her appetite for life and her joy of life comes through in the movie.
We're going to encourage people to see this on the big screen because we love the movie experience. But what was the film that made you look up at the big screen and go, that's what I want to do?
It was called Never Take No for an Answer. And I have to say that I was very, very, very young. I was 5 years old. I saw this film starring a little boy who looked exactly like me as a 5-year-old. I identified so closely with the character that after the movie, I imagined myself being followed by an invisible camera crew everywhere I went, that I was in my own movie. But it was that beautiful performance of that little Italian actor that made me want to be him. I didn't translate that into acting, I just wanted to be him. But then later I realized, you can be him by acting. So I eventually caught up with the profession. But that was the moment when I decided.
And there's a lot of people in this town that want to try and get in the business, but it's a really hard one. What advice would you offer them?
I can reduce my advice into one very simple phrase. If your motives are pure, the angels will come.
Wow, that's fantastic. You must have had so much fun making this film with Patricia, but in an interesting way, you had such wonderful chemistry.
You know, we relied a great deal on, between takes, on silence. Patricia and I hardly spoke to each other. Now that takes a lot of trust because you can misinterpret that as being not in the mood to talk, but honestly, we communicated through our characters. And what you see on the screen is that working relationship.
Thank you again for joining us. It was an honor.
You're very kind. Thank you.
Learning to Drive is in theaters now.
I'm learning to drive, you know?
Oh, that's a scary thought.
Shut up!
I think it's time to discuss road rage.
It doesn't matter what is going on in your life out there. When you are at the wheel of a car, this is all there is. Your life right now.